Hey guys, welcome back to Golang tutorials. This is Delody. In the last episode, we went through the basic program of Hello World, and in this episode, we'll discuss about variables. So, here in Atom. So, basically, what's a variable? So, basically, we can store some value in some memory space. And we can refer to that memory space using a name, a string like some name. We can any name we can use, and we can change the value stored in that memory location. That's basically or technically a variable is. While a constant is something like this, we can store a value into that memory location, but we can change that value. Once we stored it, that's it, that's the end of it. So we'll look to this. We'll save it as technical skill. Go. Already say variables dot already I made some file. Replace. So we'll do something like this. We'll say package main, and we'll import the formatting package because library that we need for formatting, and we'll start the main function. In this we'll say formatter in output print line. We say hey, what's your name? So we have to reply to that giving our name. So how can we give a name? We have to store that, we have to get the name, and we have to store into some variable. So we say what my name, and the data type is string. So basically what we are inputting is a string. That's why we are giving string variable. So if you are familiar with some C++ or C programming, you know what string is. So and also this command might look familiar to you, those who have seen C. And we say my name. So we'll print it out. Print line. Say hey, and we give my name. We just give something like this, and we just print this thing. In Atom there's a feature called there's a plugin which is called run file. We can run this file without going to a console from here itself. So open control alt control X. So what's the name? Name I just give it as Melvin. Hey Melvin. Hey. So basically the printout. We can also use something with integer value. In that case we have to change this percentage as to percentage B. So yes, again run this. And what's the name? My name is 9. Yeah, hey 9. So it did print like that. So that's basically integer. There is something called float is one which with value in a number, and which has a decimal point and digits following that. And in Go, unlike other programming languages, Go has a peculiarity. Actually, it's a brilliant move. Like it has floating point with 32-bit or 64-bit. So we can give 32. Here we have to change percentage D to percentage F. That's what float does, and just run it. What's the name? Maybe 36.3 is my name. So hey, 36.3. So it does work. So basically there are other variables called int32 with integer variable with 32-bit size, and 64-bit is the and this basic integer is 16-bit. So and other variable for float also 64-bit is the, and there are a lot of stuffs there, and there are something with input. Here you can see there's a var, and also percentage F is for float and D for integer. Even if the integer is 64 or 32-bit, doesn't matter, we can just give percentage D. And scanf is a function where we can give the input, and basically what it does is my name is the name of the variable, and and my name gives the address of the variable. It's in the memory location where we store this value. So scanf will store the percentage f, means the floating value it got from the input, the standard input, that's the keyboard, to the specific location, memory location. It's the address, specific address of this variable. So that's what it does. And there are some cool things we can do with string, and we will discuss those things in later tutorials. Here there are different ways we can specify this thing. Like instead of giving this, we can initialize in different manner and 3.0. so this is a shortcut for initializing things. Like unlike the earlier time where we don't need to give specify whether it is string or float or anything, like we just give it something like that. So where Go will intelligently assign the floating type variable my name. So we just run it. What's the name? Let's say 60.5, so 6.5, hey 6.5. But there are something we have to care. Like if I want something that integer 32-bit integer, I have to specifically say integer 32-bit 3. If we are just giving 3, it will only assign 3. So if we give try to have main name 65, hey 65, though it looks 65, it can go up to 32-bit number. That's the difference. And also there is another way. If you want to give multiple variables something, we can assign something like this. Var, let me start. I did I give anything wrong? Okay, var, we can give something like my name as string, and some kl as integer. Yeah, that's it. And we say kl equal to 0, and we some kl yes, we say sorry, the commas unexpected. So hey, what's your name? So basically this error came because it's percentage, it should be percentage s. So what's your name? My name is 69. So hey 69. So basically the string treated 69 as a string, that's why it's okay. And 60 from kl. And there is one thing, like we if you are not using a variable, we can specify that. We can't specify anything which is not used. It should give an error. Like look at this, and kl is declared but not used. So if you declare something, you have to use it. There is another thing called scope. Scope is something like if I give something like if true, then kl equal to 3. We just declaring it here, and if you're trying to print it here, it should give some error, because basically kl is inside true. It can't be available to the code region which is outside this. So you say it's error because kl is not declared. So but if you are declaring kl in a global scale, if you are declaring it here, then kl in it should work, because basically true is not here. So yeah, so it did work because kl is specified there. Also if you are giving sometimes people might confuse. So kl is not used. Okay, here kl is declared but not used. We say fmt dot println kl. So run it again, and 3 is printed here, and we say here the value is 0 because the initialization value of kl is 0. Though we changed kl here, it only affects the kl in this region, inside this if region. it won't affect here. Also we can put it in global scale. We can put this thing also here, in here also. In this way it can be done. So basically the scope, this is the global scope. So in this way the scope of the variables, like even if you define something in this scope, in the global scope, and we don't use it here, there is no problem. Okay, we just check this thing out. Here if you don't give KL, there's no problem, I guess. Yeah, there's no problem, it just works. So if we use some KL, some variable in some scope, and define some variable there, and we don't use in that scope, that it's an error. If you define it in a higher scope, and if you don't use in lower scope, it's not a problem. So that is basic thing about variables, and we'll see more about other variables in like string, those things, string operations, in coming episodes. Okay, thanks guys, stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, love and peace.